the opportunity also to talk about another resource. The thing I appreciate about the boot camp for sure. And if you've been staring at a computer screen for a little while, if you just want to kind of shake it off a little bit, maybe even do that little march in place, that kind of helps too, to just kind of keep the blood flowing, keep the energy going. But we get to provide very direct resources, and the Achievery is just an amazing resource. And we're gonna watch a little video in a second, but I'd love for you to just go to the computer, open up another browser tab or what have you, and go ahead and sign up for this thing and let everybody that you know around you in the space learn about this thing. Please go ahead and run that.
The Achievery is a free digital learning platform created by AT&T in collaboration with Warner Media. At the onset of the pandemic, we were already serving underrepresented, underserved students. So in addition to providing a device and connectivity, we needed another piece that we knew was missing, and that's what the Achievery satisfies.
The really brilliant thing and the unique thing about the Achievery is our ability to take a clip from a recognizable piece of Warner Media content, let's call it Wonder Woman, and see what has happened naturally in that scene and map the situation to something that is real and tangible in the lives of students.
And that's what the Achievery does. It makes it engaging, it makes it fun, and they don't even realize that they're learning.
I know the link there is in the chat. Would highly encourage connecting to that resource for sure.
Hi, everybody. I am Robin Berlinski with Engaging Creative Minds. We provide arts integration programs across South Carolina, and with the dance we kind of just did, it fits in with what we do. So I'm really excited to be here with my panel, session 2, promoting young people's curiosity and creativity. So a lot of what we do to do that with children, we do also with our adults. So hopefully some of what we're going to talk about will answer some questions that came up in the previous amazing panels conversation. So I'm going to start by introducing who's here with me today, and I'll go in order of who you see on the screen. Denzel Smith is with Learn Fresh. Louis Lopez is with the Department of Defense. And Christine Jao is with the National Inventors Hall of Fame. And who am I missing here? Louis Lopez. No, sorry. I have to move my... Rachel Lovis is with the Summer Discovery. So thank you all for being here. I could not be more excited to talk about curiosity and creativity, because that's part of what Engaging Creative Minds is, just in our name. So I'm really, really excited. Our first question is, how does your organization, so Christine, I'm tossing this to you, how does the National Inventors Hall of Fame support young people's creativity to explore things that interest them?
Thanks, Robin, and hello, everyone. We're excited to partner with the National Summer Learning Association and really happy to join this conversation today. The National Inventors Hall of Fame partners with school districts, community-based organizations, libraries, basically the entire community that serves kids during summer and out of school time. And each of our partners is unique. So we customize STEM programs and teacher training to really meet their specific needs. Our STEM programs serve preschool through middle school students. Camp Invention is a perfect solution for an all-inclusive 1 to 2 weeks of immersive hands-on fun. And we also offer science and invention themed units called Invention Project. And these contain about 6 to 8 hours of content. So this is a great solution for partners who want to integrate STEM content across maybe a 4 to 5 week summer session, usually around math and ELA segments. So as you heard on that last panel discussion, we really bring the enrichment piece that teachers love to teach and students love to be a part of. And our partners consistently tell us that our programs help increase attendance and engagement over the entire summer session. And I really thought that Dr. Jenkins emphasized this balance and this importance of this idea of attendance and engagement really well during that last panel. Supporting students' creativity and curiosity. This is the DNA of our organization. Our mission is to recognize inventors and invention, promote creativity, and advance the spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship. And we're unique because many of the most groundbreaking and accomplished scientists in the world are the inventors in our Hall of Fame. And we call on them to inspire and inform and shape our curricula. So these real-life men and women are incredible role models for kids so that they can see themselves succeeding in a variety of STEM fields. And the slide here that you pulled up, Robin, thanks for that. I'd like to share just a little bit about our pedagogy rather of invention education, because this is how we support students' creativity to explore their interests. The invention process invites kids to solve real problems using the skills and attributes of an inventor. So the 9 hexagons, actually there are more here, but the hexagons that you see on this slide, these are the skills and the competencies that we've gleaned from our inductees. And we've formalized these into a framework called an I Can Invent mindset. And each of these concepts are woven into every lesson and every activity in our programs. So our programs really result in 3 basic outcomes. The first is student success. This means we create exciting experience with flexible, open-ended invention challenges. These really inspire students to learn in a very authentic way in an environment of play. Second is teacher success. You heard a lot about this again in the last panel. So teaching our programs is stress-free, and it all starts with excellent teacher training. Instructors feel confident teaching our curriculum because we provide the training and the tools needed to facilitate inquiry and project-based learning. We call it an embedded professional development so that teachers gain the skills that they need, and they'll transfer these into their year-round classrooms. You know, building great teachers is the best way to support students to build creativity. And then finally, parent satisfaction and involvement. We help parents access and connect with their child's learning so that they can support their kids' desire to invent and create all year long.
Thank you. I love that. So Denzel, let's shoot that to you. How does Learn Fresh support young people's creativity to explore things that interest them?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for having me on the panel, first of all. And glad to be here and glad to share what Learn Fresh could bring to each one of you specifically. Learn Fresh, basically, we're a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to providing STEAM learning experiences that, empower educators and inspire students through community play and kind of rigorous exploitation. We have our programs that we leverage the passion of students, sports and entertainment to inspire them, and their STEAM goals and social emotional learning. So we use our professional sports leagues in our programs to have them excited to play. So a couple of things that we are deeply rooted on is joyful learning. We like to bring the passion outside the classroom and inside the classroom. We find it to be a spark for engagement. So anything sports related is very, very, very keen to a lot of students inside the classroom, that hands-on learning. We see students that are struggling in the classroom with basic math concepts, but they can talk about, athletes' stats and statistics or what they did in last night's game. For instance, I had a student, talk about oh, Tyrese Maxey, the 76ers player, didn't play last night because he had a concussion. And another friend of his, was like, oh, yeah, he ran into somebody, but they just needed a break. And so they just gave him a game off. So those kind of things is like you see what's important to the students. So we want to use that and leverage that. So well, a couple of things that we've created for our programs is NBA math hoops, where we do leverage the NBA and the player statistics. So it's just not the NBA, but it's also the WNBA as well. So we love to get the female students involved as long as the males. And they soon realize that a lot of the female athletes are better statistically than the male athletes. So it's really a shocker to a lot of the young boys. Usually kind of the age groups that we aim for is like fourth through eighth grade. But we have kids in high school and like little lower that love to participate as well. But it's a real shocker to them to think like, oh, wait, she's better statistically than LeBron, or like Candace Parker is statistically maybe better than LeBron on a card, but in pay on like in person, they're like, wait, but LeBron could probably dunk on her. Oh, well, maybe, but on paper, they're not better. So a couple of those things that really hit home with the students. But we don't stop there. We also work with the MLB and our MLB Players STEM League as well. So we kind of do the same thing where we use statistics of and the ins and outs of baseball to help students learn the game of baseball, but also build their fundamental math facts as well, and build that so they can be more confident in the classroom, and helps that engagement as well outside the classroom, and helps the students build more rapport with the teachers as well. Whether they have something in common, we understand that rapport is very important in the classroom, inside and outside the classroom. So that's something that we help try to bridge the gap on that. And then we also have another program, our MLS STEM goals program as well. So we're working with the soccer league as well. And we use soccer again for we're trying to hit on all these sports that kids are involved in. Say, hey, you can use this to help you become more confident in the classroom, which in turn goes to other classes, whether they're speaking out loud, or so our SEL component where they're working with a partner. And those creativities that we put in our programs make them a lot more confident as they move on in school.
Thank you. And Denzel, you need to visit the chat. You've got some fans in there, so they are loving on Learn Fresh.
I appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much. So Rachel, I'd love to hear how Summer Discovery taps into children's creativity and their interests. So talk to us about that.
Sure. Thanks, Robin. And I'm really thrilled to be here with all these great panelists today. So Summer Discovery has been leading experiential summer programs for over 55 years. We began early on doing teen tours internationally, where students could explore the world in a supportive social environment. And we entered the pre-college enrichment space academically in the 1980s with partnerships with the University of California, Los Angeles, as well as the University of Michigan, who are still our longest standing partners. And we currently serve over 12,000 students each summer across 13 different university campuses. We offer exploratory enrichment courses that students can pair for more of a light level exploration academically, as well as more rigorous academic opportunities where students who are, really looking to dive deep in the summer can spend full days really getting into the academic areas of interest. We also have an Institute for the Gifted program, which starts with students as young as first grade through 12 with, again, summer enrichment academically engaging courses specifically for gifted learners. So our programs, really cater to students who may not have access to other students kind of in their style of learning throughout their academic year. And each summer Institute for the Gifted provides a very supportive, nurturing space for gifted students to be with like-minded students and peers and really explore academically in ways that they're not necessarily able to do in their K through 12 classroom. So again, we have a variety of academic levels for students who may be aging out of camp, summers of camp, who are ready to kind of get onto a college campus and see what that is like, to those who know where they want to go to school and want to be on that campus and really just get a taste of college life and the academics. So for example, one of those academically rigorous programs we have this summer is at the University of California, Berkeley, where we're partnering with a number of different departments to offer programs that are full day academies in areas like psychiatry and neuroscience, entrepreneurship and management, as well as engineering. So we have programs that run the gamut from that level to, a student who might be interested in STEM and is really ready to explore that in their future, but maybe wants to spend their summer doing something a little more loose and creative. So maybe they have the opportunity to take an enrichment course in art or the humanities and really, get a well-rounded summer enrichment opportunity. So all of our programs essentially provide similar opportunities for students to be with like-minded peers, engaging socially outside of class, as well as in the classroom, so that they're developing social, emotional, transferable skills that are going to benefit them in college, of course, but also in their lives beyond college and their summers with Summer Discovery.
Thank you. And I love that you're thinking about kids like, quote, who outgrow camp. Like it's not really outgrowing ever, because we are always trying to explore and be curious and creative. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. And now, Louie, I'm really excited to find out how the Department of Defense taps into creativity. I've been waiting for this. So let's hear how the DoD STEM explores creativity and curiosity with students.
Well, thanks, Robin, and greetings, everyone. Echoing my fellow panelists, it's great to be here. And also thank you to NSLA for hosting this panel. So I work for the Department of Defense, overseeing our STEM education programs across the K through 20 plus grade levels. And as a mission agency in the federal government with this incredible mission of ensuring that our country remains safe, the Department of Defense employs the largest number of federal scientists and engineers across the federal government, with over 300,000 STEM professionals, 80,000 of them working in our defense research laboratories and engineering centers. As such, we are committed to developing our nation's STEM talent, future problem solvers and creative thinkers to take on some of our most complex societal problems. With over 100 programs in K through 12 and post-secondary grade levels, DoD STEM offers a continuum of meaningful and engaging learning experiences, which include summer STEM camps. And interestingly enough, one of my fellow panelists here in National Inventors Hall of Fame, we partner on Camp Invention. Project or research-based competitions, internships, apprenticeships, and scholarships, as well as professional development for our classroom teachers and educators alike, and also providing them some fellowships and online resources. Now, most, if not all of our activities are mentor-centered. I mentioned this before, engaging, and in as much as possible involves our DoD scientists and engineers, because it really provides our program participants, most importantly our students, a peek into the life of what a DoD scientist and engineers do in the research lab or engineering center when it comes to inventing technology, using their creative mind to come up with really unique solutions to our most complex problems. So through these efforts, DoD STEM aims to inspire, cultivate, and develop exceptional and creative STEM talent to enrich our current and future DoD workforce, poised to take on our national security challenges today and tomorrow.
Thank you. This is so fabulous. I love this group. This is so diverse. Okay, we're gonna shift a little bit. So, we all know as adults what it feels like when we're in the zone. Like we're so focused on whatever it is. We're excited. We're just like, all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock and you're like, oh wait, I forgot to eat lunch. Like that's the most beautiful space to be in when we're working. and how great for kids when they're in our summer programs and they look up and they're like, wait, the bus is here. No, I don't want to go home. So let's talk. I'd love for this panel to share with us what does it look like? How does it look to create environments that foster creativity? So Louis, we're just going to start right with you. Since you were talking, we want to hear how the Department of Defense does that.
So this really takes on in many forms, Robin, as I mentioned earlier, in being committed to developing this exceptional STEM talent. We could not afford to operate in a vacuum in executing this mission. As I said, I think it was back in 2011 when we first partnered with National Inventors Hall of Fame on Camp Invention. And where we can, we engage our DoD scientists and engineers in some of these activities in the local sites to military installations. But really, we partner with organizations from academia, from industry, from nonprofit organizations, to come up with different forms of what these environments look like. And as I mentioned earlier, bringing in that mentor in a DoD scientist and engineer, but also bringing in near-peer mentors. This is part of the Camp Invention model. This is also part of our model and in many of our programming, including our internship program. And this also engages our scientists and engineers in really asking those leading questions to our students and also working with teachers in classrooms and local communities. So these partnerships and collaborations help engage, inspire, and attract future generations of talent to pursue careers in support of defense missions, and all stakeholders benefit from these collaborations. Many of these STEM activities are offered through our partners using common household goods, because we want to extend our resources. We're certainly mindful that being stewards of taxpayer dollars, we want to reach as many students, but also in a responsible manner. So these activities weave in STEM in ways that make it accessible for diverse participants of all racial and ethnic groups, with varying socioeconomic status and across all genders. And through our partnerships, DoD STEM activities boost both facilitators and students' confidence for teaching and completing STEM activities. We believe that this increases this increase in confidence and efficacy leads to increased interest and creativity in STEM.
Absolutely. And I'm going to now toss it to your partner because you've mentioned this several times. So Christine, how does the National Inventors Hall of Fame, how do you create an environment that fosters creativity?
Well, first I'd like to thank Louis for the mention. We're so appreciative of the support of the Department of Defense and, excuse me, the families and the students around the country that are also recipients of that incredible philanthropic support. Appreciate that as well. So to your question about how do we foster creativity, what does that environment look like? When a student comes to Camp Invention, they step into an incredibly immersive space, and they're immediately transported into the role of a biologist or a chemist or an engineer, or maybe a veterinarian or a hydrologist, or any of the unique themes of that particular module. Then they get interesting and novel materials to build invention prototypes. They each have their own really colorful inventor logs where they can sketch ideas and read stories from real inventors. And even if they don't have the vocabulary to fully express their ideas verbally, they can still make their thinking visible through the sketching and the prototyping of the invention process. So how do we set our teachers up to create this experience? you know, Robin, we should look to our audience today at boot camp, because these are the people out there who are in the trenches getting the work done, right? And you all know that creating a summer experience takes a village. It takes the support of the entire community. Summer programs today are facilitated by instructors from a variety of backgrounds. We work with veteran classroom teachers, but also with the vital staff at community-based organizations. So we give instructors concrete tools like step-by-step curriculum and lesson plans coupled with media resources. We show them exactly what to do and to say to create this immersive and safe environment. And our curricula is transdisciplinary, which means that our challenges are embedded in a real storytelling climate. So there's no anxiety for teachers about teaching science content. Our modules are grade level aligned, and we include differentiation tips to help teachers meet the needs of every learner. We help them with pacing the content. We supply guiding and discussion questions and prompts to help teachers facilitate really deep and meaningful conversations. We show them how to create brainstorming sessions where everyone's idea is encouraged and accepted. And then we ask wide open questions and provide teachers prompts that encourage kids to think really big. Things like, wouldn't it be great if my computer mouse could walk my dog? Or sentence starters like, I wonder why, I wonder how. It's amazing how far just that one little sentence can take a child's imagination. Materials, we package materials for minimal teacher prep, and we send clearly labeled boxes to save time. And this may seem like a really obvious thing, but just ask any district warehouse employee who just signed for 2,000 boxes that need to get to 35 different schools by tomorrow. Ask them why labels are important. Sometimes our partners face space and storage challenges, so we consider that. We emphasize, as Louis said, the use of upcycle materials, because these are readily available for kids, and so cost isn't a barrier, and this creates equity and access in our programs. And then finally, most importantly, we show educators how to create a climate that supports risk-taking, failing, learning from failure, so that students remember the vocabulary, the math, and the science that they're learning, because they've experienced in a really personal and applied way.
Thank you. You touched on so much there, and I know my team is on this call. I hope you're all taking notes, everybody, because we're in like brilliance right now. So, Denzel, sports, right? Like we get it, the environment, like talk about fun, but talk about Learn Fresh. What is it you guys do to create that environment that fosters creativity?
Yeah, I mean, Christine, you really set the stage here. I just want to say the follow up that is like kind of like a mic drop, and but ultimately Learn Fresh. I mean, we try to bring the excitement. You know, Learn Fresh programming is meant to be picked up quickly. We make it simple for educators and students that it is easy transition, because we know that educators are coming from all different backgrounds, like Christine said. It is easy for a translation for anybody to pick up and just teach it, and easy for kids to pick up and learn. Along with the curriculum and the board game that we provide as well, we also provide tutorial videos as well, so they can watch it step by step too as they play. One thing that we also do that's different, we create an experience. It's not just about playing a board game. It's not just about following our curriculum. It's not about watching our tutorial videos. You'll be able to compete against one another as well, from people all over the world. We make it our global tournaments and our regional tournaments as exciting and interactive with the professional leagues. And they come out and they bring maybe their mascots, and they bring maybe a player or two, or excitement, or somebody from higher up in the upper offices. And we found that, it just builds the confidence of their students to perform. It's a great supplement in the classroom. It's relatable to them. We know that hiring in the summertime, it's tough. It can be very hard. It's a high turnover. So this product is meant to be easy for staff and students. It's budget friendly. we're free. We offer it free to everybody. So summer programming is like, listen, you don't have to take anything out of your budget, but just time. We offer a time for just training. So all you need is an hour or hour and a half training and tutorial videos to follow it up. If you don't need to call us back, I guess you could say, all right, let's follow tutorial videos. So we try to make it simplistic for for everyone to pick up and follow, even a student. Um, we try to put ourselves in the kids' position. We want all our teachers to tap into their inner child. We want to put yourselves in a learning environment of these students. What is it that's going to make them learn or want to play? What is it that's going to make this event fun for them or memorable? We want to create that experience. So one thing we do is have our regional tournaments. So say I'll use Philadelphia, for example, because that's where I'm located. We have a nice tri-state around us, Philadelphia, as far as Jersey, South Jersey, and Delaware. So we have a nice little tri-state area where we will hold a regional tournament with the help of the 76ers and have students from all three of the tri-states compete in a regional tournament for our regional championship. And when I'm telling you that kids show out for this because we make it live, we make it fun, we bring music, let's say we try to get Franklin out there. This is an experience that, whether some kids, there's only going to be one winner, but they all come out saying they had a ball, they competed, and they tried their very best. But then after that, they supported one another as well. So we tap into is also the social emotional aspect of it. With our Learn Fresh coaching community, our teachers are constantly informed about things that are going on and what we're doing. There's no prep for this. This is just kind of pull out and you can kind of play. And then also we also offer our global championship where, why not us for students to apply to the global championship where we choose students from all around the globe to come during the NBA draft and compete for our global championship against kids from all over the world. This is something that students have been enjoying from my experience because I was once the teacher in the classroom teaching my students in Camden, New Jersey. And they're just like, oh, there's so many people playing, but so what? Why not us? What if we don't even try, we're not even giving it a chance. So, to get the confidence of the students up and to believe in themselves is something that Learn Fresh is definitely strong on. And we will continue to kind of push that authenticity and that exposure to new experiences and making sure that that it's not just about the NBA or the MLB, but it's also about the child and the student and the teacher and realizing that the NBA or MLB is looking at these students and teachers as partners, as kids that they want to be a part of their learning experience. And that's how we do it, whether it be virtually or in person or being partnered with the NBA facilities or this career panel, all these kind of things right here. Are things that we try to push out and creativity for the students and teachers to make that learning experience that much better.
Incredible. And, I love so much about this. You need to connect with Tony in the chat because he's shouting out, hey, we need some March Madness over here on the West Coast. So talk to Tony, and I'm going to jump over here to Rachel. And we want to know how you at Summer Discovery are creating environments that foster creativity.
Great, thank you. So I want to start just talking generally with the environment of summer academic enrichment programs like Summer Discovery. The nature of these programs as residential opportunities for students to live together 24 hours a day from anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks is really creating a social space where students can thrive creatively. By being with their peers, in class and outside of class, they're in a space where they can actually maybe think outside of the box and push themselves in a way that maybe with their parents or with their teachers they're not going to be able to do. So I think the setting overall of programs like Summer Discovery is the foundation to foster creativity and curiosity among students while they're on campus. Something that Denzel just mentioned as well, I think teachers and students alike, right, encouraging the creativity among them on our summer programs is core, but we also have residential staff and administrators who play a key role in those students' experiences while they're on campus. So it's a holistic approach to create an environment that in the classroom is supporting students' ability to show up and be in the classroom and create, as well as after class. And, you know, maybe a student comes to their residential counselor after class and says, wow, I just learned this amazing new thing about, you know, my writing skills. And the residential staff also has an opportunity to nurture that curiosity outside of class. So students are in an environment 24/7 where this can be nurtured. Beyond that, so getting to kind of my original points, so the fact that our summer programs are not based on, you know, performance or assessment is another way in which the programs are a supportive and safe place for students to explore. So these really are enrichment programs where students get to dive into things that they generally may not have access to or know how to. So a really good example of this is with our gifted programs, where students are brought together around a bunch of really interesting creative classes. They might be learning about Fibonacci math in the morning and then, you know, putting together robots in the afternoon, or any combination of, you know, STEM to humanities to social science courses. So particularly with gifted students, the environment really is key to nurturing their comfort level in expanding their learning in a creative way. So the way we design our curriculum for our gifted programs is very particular thought out around project-based learning, where we hire curriculum developers who are subject matter experts and experienced educators around gifted learning. So they can create the sort of foundational curriculum that we can offer consistently across all of our gifted program campuses. So there's a foundation from which the educators can adapt and, you know, freestyle according to the gifted students in their classroom in particular. So the key way to engage gifted learners is through, you know, appealing to their interests, really encouraging them to dive deep in things that they're particularly passionate about and allowing their learning to grow from there. So I think a great example of this from one of our past instructors was a student, you know, sometimes with our gifted students, we have folks who are very, very interested in one topic area, right? So it's a challenge to figure out how to engage them in, you know, other topics that are part of our education that we need to learn. And, you know, maybe a student who's really into STEM, their parents thought the summer opportunity was an important place for them to grow their writing skills, right? So let's say you have a student who's all about robots and they're in a creative writing class and really not engaged, right? And this is an opportunity where an instructor identified that passion from the student and was able to, you know, take that interest in robots and apply it to their writing exploration. So teachers are really encouraged to individualize their learning, their teaching with these learners in ways that appeal to them and allow them to really explore their curiosity. The way this is embedded in our curriculum has been very intentional, where our gifted programs are 3 weeks long and they're designed around capstone projects. So starting from day 1 and day 2, students are being introduced to the content of that course and being encouraged to figure out what appeals to them about that content. And throughout the course of the 3 weeks, they develop their own individualized projects where they're working individually with teachers to expand on topics that they're really interested in. So this foundation of really providing consistent content really helps educators nurture that within their students in ways that they identify in the classroom that's really fruitful, you know, beyond the summer as well.
Thank you, Rachel, Robin, Christine, Louie, the entire panel. We appreciate you so much, without question. We also appreciate the National Inventors Hall of Fame for being a sponsor of this for sure. You're showing up in a really big way, and we appreciate you. This would not be possible without you as a presenting sponsor. So we appreciate the National Inventors Hall of fame for sure.